Hello, my name's Dylan. You're watching Foxtrot Racing, and today I'm going to be going over my picks for the NASCAR in-season challenge bracket. I figured this would be a good first video to do on my channel. It's not going to require any editing. I have my picks already picked out, so this video shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to go over my reasoning and why I think certain drivers are going to move on over other drivers. So just to recap, it is a 5-race 32 driver bracket, including Atlanta or Echo Park, Chicago, Sonoma, Dover, and then the final round will be at Indianapolis between the final two drivers. So it goes from 32 to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2. So hopefully you got that. So for the first matchup in the upper left corner, we have Denny Hamlin against Ty Dillon. Now, let's be honest, this is a pretty easy matchup. I mean, it literally is the 1 versus the 32 seed. Coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb type matchup here. It's got to be Denny Hamlin, right? Like, I get Atlanta's a drafting track. I'm not going to call it Echo Park. I get Atlanta's a drafting track. Anything can happen. This is not happening. Denny Hamlin has this. Denny Hamlin, wins 99 out of 100. So yeah, I don't see this really going in Ty Dillon's favor, but you never know. Next we have Kyle Busch against Brad Keselowski. Now, if this was towards the beginning of the season, I'd say Kyle Busch all the way. Brad Keselowski had an abysmal start to the season. However, things have changed. Brad Keselowski's doing a lot better. I mean, he has a couple top 10s, and I mean, if we looked at how Kyle Busch has been doing the past couple of weeks, I gotta go with Bad Brad. Next we have Alex Bowman against Joey Logano. This one, kind of a toss-up. Bowman has the better stats. He's the 8th seed, and Logano's 25th. However, man, Atlanta, blue ovals, magic just happens there. And so I'm going to have to go Joey Logano on this one, especially Team Penske. Team Penske, Atlanta, it's going to be hard not to, root against them. So Joey Logano, I think, beats Bowman on this one, but I think that will be close. That could go either way. Next, we have Bubba Wallace against Daniel Suarez. Now, I get Daniel Suarez is one here. He just doesn't, I'm not as confident, right? I don't feel as confident about Daniel Suarez as I do Bubba Wallace. So I think I'm going to take Bubba Wallace here. That might be an upset. I know Bubba Wallace is, seated higher, so it's not really an upset. But, man, Suarez has been off this year. It hasn't been great for him. So I'm going to go Bubba Wallace on that one. Next, we're moving on to the lower left. We have John Hunter Nemechek against Josh Berry. I mean, this one's like a 50-50. However, Josh Berry's been more consistent. Of course, he's 16th in points. But John Hunter Nemechek, man, he's had some brilliant flashes. So I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not even shocked anymore when John Hunter Nemechek gets a top 10. He's done it before. He's done it plenty of times. So honestly, I expect John Hunter to have a great performance, just another top 10. So I have John Hunter moving on over Josh Berry. I get it. Josh Berry's won. I'm betting against a Ford. So I'm contradicting myself with the Logano pick. However, John Hunter, there's just an aura. Something feels good about picking him. So I'm picking him. Next, we have Chase Elliott against Austin Dillon. Second time a Dillon brother is going to get beat. And Elliott is just so consistent. Sorry, my phone's on low battery. Elliott's just so consistent that I have to go with Elliott over Dillon. No questions asked. Ross Chastain against Eric Jones is the next matchup. This Chastain, I don't really got to talk about this. Chastain just has better odds. Jones is good, don't get me wrong, but I got to go Chastain. Next, we have Christopher Bell versus Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse is pretty good at drafting style tracks. I almost said super speedway. Atlanta's not a super speedway, but it acts like one, and so thus Ricky Stenhouse is actually pretty good. However, Christopher Bell is just too good of a pick not to move on over Stenhouse. I'm sorry, I'm picking Bell. Now we're on to the upper right of the bracket. Next, we have Chase Briscoe against Noah Gragson. It's Chase Briscoe. Front row, right, is usually good at Atlanta. However, Gragson's the bottom driver at front row. No questions about it. And they've had an abysmal season, all three of those guys. And I'm a Gilliland fan. I mean, that's Gilliland's car right there. So yeah, Chase Briscoe. It's not even close. Next we have Ryan Preece against William Byron. This one's closer than a lot of people would like to think. However, I'm still gonna go Byron. Right, Preece is great on super speedways, those tracks when he's not, doing Preece things like flipping in the air. But William Byron just looks like a better pick, and I know he's seeded worse, but man, that first place in points, that means something. That means something to me. So William Byron, I think William Byron's got Preece. I think William Byron wins that one. Next we have Ryan Blaney against Carson Hocevar. I like both these drivers, right? These are two pretty solid drivers, but if I'm going Atlanta, I'm going to go Blue Oval, going to go Ford, I'm going to go Ryan Blaney. I wouldn't bet against Team Penske. Sure, Carson's fast, he's got speed, but I mean, Blaney is a champion, right? A Cup Series champion, and I know it's under the playoffs, so asterisks on how deserved that is. More deserved than Logano's for sure, but Ryan Blaney I still think has better odds despite Carson's speed in recent weeks. I'm gonna go Blaney. Larson against Reddick. This is close. This is actually 50-50. The reason I'm gonna go Larson here is because if Larson gets past this round, he's gonna be unstoppable, honestly. I think he just needs to hone his craft at Atlanta, and he could go all the way. I truly believe. Reddick is good as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this could go either way. But if, I see both of these guys, winning the whole thing, right? They just need to beat one another. So, I'm going to go Larson. Larson has the better credentials, second in points. 3 wins versus Reddick 0. I think that means something. Although Larson's been off these past couple of weeks, I think he'll be. I think he'll come back around. I think he'll do all right at Atlanta. We also can't forget 23-11 has kind of last week was rough for them. So next we have final corner of the bracket, lower right. Michael McDowell versus AJ Allmendinger. I'm gonna go McDowell because not only is McDowell a great road course ringer, right? Both of these guys get past this round, they could do some damage. However, Michael McDowell is a lot better of a super speedway racer than AJ Allmendinger is, I think. And I get Atlanta is not a super speedway; it's a drafting track. But you know what I mean. So I think Michael McDowell probably beats AJ Allmendinger here. I like both of these guys, right, for Chicago. However, I don't get that luxury. They're both next to each other. So we're just gonna go McDowell. Next we have Ty Gibbs against Justin Haley. Gimme Gibbs. Gimme Gibbs. I don't know. This is like a nothing burger of a matchup. I'm not gonna lie. Zane Smith against Austin Cindric. 2 Fords. Front row's been fast, but man, Cindric is that guy at super speedways. And say it with me. Atlanta is not a super speedway. It's a drafting track. But the same thing applies. Cindric is going to be dangerous. I like Zane Smith, but I don't see him beating Austin Cindric. So, Cindric on that one. And lastly, we have Chris Buescher against my boy, Todd Gilliland. I didn't even point at that. Right there. I like Todd. Don't get me wrong. Todd's great. He's not beating Buescher. I've seen people online say that this could be an upset, right? I think Todd is the best driver at front row. I know Zane's above him in points. I will say that. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't know. Front row's still kind of been off their game, and I don't think it's a driver issue. And I think Buescher's just given better equipment, right? And the same equipment, this would be like a 50-50 matchup. But RFK cars are just a lot better. So give me Chris Buescher over Todd Gilliland. Yeah. I don't know why I'm talking like that's a controversial pick. That's like the 3rd seed against the 30th seed. But yeah, so now we're going to move on to the next round, which will get us to 8 drivers. And this is Chicago. So for my matchups, I've kind of said my piece about a lot of drivers, so hopefully this will go quicker. We have Denny Hamlin against Brad Keselowski. Denny Hamlin's had a pretty easy run, and he's going to take that spot. Brad Keselowski's been showing improvement, but again, Denny has 3 wins. Like, this isn't close. Joey Logano against Bubba Wallace. This is going to be a little trickier, right? Usually on road courses, Bubba Wallace is better, but Bubba Wallace is hit or miss, and I'm still not super stoked about the 2311 disaster that was Pocono. So I'm going to take Joey Logano. That might be a shocker, right? Like, taking him there. But I don't know. I think Joey Logano can go farther, like, once he's gotten to that point. So I'm taking Logano over Bubba. That might be a stupid decision. It probably is. But it's what I feel on the inside. Next, we have John Hunter Nemechek against Chase Elliott. I can't deny Chase Elliott's consistency. I'm going to go Elliott here. Ross Chastain against Christopher Bell. This is kind of close, right? Closer than you'd like to believe. But Bell's a pretty good road course racer. And I expect him to beat Chastain. But I think this one's going to be close and kind of fun to watch. But give me Bell. Next, we have Briscoe against Byron. Give me Byron, right? Byron makes it past... if Byron makes it out of Atlanta, I think he'll beat Briscoe. I think Byron's a way better road course racer, for sure. And so... considering we're at Chicago, it's definitely Byron's wheelhouse. Same thing with Blaney and Larson. Blaney's a good driver all around, but Larson's definitely the better road course racer, so I'm going to give it to Larson. Next, we have McDowell against Gibbs. It's McDowell, right? Like I said, these road courses coming up actually favor this guy pretty well, so I'm going to take McDowell. And then Cindric against Buescher. Again, same thing. Buescher's the better road course guy. A road course is a lot more predictable, I'm realizing. Give me Buescher. So now we have our 8 drivers heading into Sonoma, which is, again, another road course. So who's the better road course guy between Logano and Hamlin? Hamlin. I'm taking Hamlin to go to the Final 4. Elliott over Bell. Or Elliott versus Bell. I'm taking Elliott over Bell. This one's a little closer, right? These guys are both pretty good. But, man, there's just something about Elliott's consistency that's, like, very, like, alluring. Give me Elliott. I think Elliott's going to beat Bell, and that might be an upset, because that's, like, the 4th and 5th seed. I mean, both really good drivers. That's, like, a toss-up. But I'm going to go Elliott, and I'm not even a Hendrick fan. I'm a Hendrick hater, actually. But you can't deny consistency. Next, we have a little Hendrick on Hendrick action. Byron against Larson. It's gotta be Larson, right? Like, as much as I don't like him, man, like, it's something like whenever you're rooting against Larson, he'll always prove you wrong. And like, it's like when I'm rooting for him, he'll be like the worst driver ever. Not the worst driver ever, but he always have his shortcomings, right? Like hitting into the things at Homestead last year, or was that 2 years? I don't even remember. When he hit the barrels at Homestead. He's had some real off moments. However, when he's great, he's easily the best Hendrick driver. And I think he will be great. He will shine at Sonoma, and he will beat William Byron. Lastly, we have McDowell against Buescher. This side of the bracket's been kind of weak, honestly, compared to other sides. I'm going to take Buescher, but man, like, if Buescher was in another quadrant of the bracket, I won't lie, he probably wouldn't make it this far, and that's foreshadowing, because now we are on the round of 4, which is Dover Classic Ovals. I'm gonna go Hamlin, right? Hamlin's just been good at, like, all these intermediates, like, or slash, what is Dover an intermediate or a short track? It's like a mile around. I think it's like a little bit of both. That type of track just suits Hamlin, right? Elliott's good, right? He'll be consistent. He'll be in like 5th, but I just think Hamlin will take him. Hamlin will be running like 2nd or 1st that race, and that's the same thing with Larson. No doubt Buescher's good, but Larson's beating Buescher. Let's be honest. And so our final matchup going into Indianapolis will be Denny Hamlin against Larson. And after Larson's disastrous Indy 500 in open wheel cars, I think he's going to lock back in on stock cars and actually beat Denny Hamlin to be the winner of the $1 million and the winner of the in-season bracket. So Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Larson wins it all. That's my prediction. Could Larson get beat by Reddick the first round and my whole bracket's destroyed? Yes, that's a possibility because Atlanta is a drafting track and like a crap show. There's a chance Cody Ware wins, right? Like that's the type of track we're talking about. So I'm gonna say wishful thinking, wishful hopes that this bracket will come into fruition and I go 16 for 16 the first race. That's not true. I could go 0 for 16. That would make things really interesting. So I'll probably do check-ins after each race on this bracket and then just talking about the race from here on out, right? I want to post more channels. Eventually, I will learn how to edit. We'll have graphics up there so you don't have to look at my unmade bed. But thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys next time.